Okay, Danielle.
The meeting tonight is for the conduct of town business by the town board. The public is invited to participate at the items marked on the agenda public comment. During that segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Thank you. Again, it's October 23rd, 2023 Town Board meeting. I need a change to the agenda. We have to actually amend the agenda to approve the minutes from the October 10th, 2023 public hearing also. So I need a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll make the motion to amend the agenda to add the approval of the public hearing minutes from October 10th, 2023.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Thank you. All right, can we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And please remain standing for a moment of silence for all the men and women who sacrificed their lives so that we can serve our country and our state and our town. Thank you. All right. So I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Motion to approve the minutes from the October 10th, 2023 Town Board meeting. Need a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from the October 10th, 2023 Town Board meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the October 10th, 2023 public hearing.
I'm just going to keep going here. I'm going to make the motion to approve the minutes from the October 10th public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. I need a motion to approve the payment of bills in $484,936.92.
I'll make the motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'm going to skip my report at this point, and we're going to go right to why everybody's here. And we have a full house tonight to present the Pride of Marlborough to James Ventricilli. I can always say it. I know he's going to say it wrong. See, when you practice it, you get it wrong, Coach. Ventriglia. I got it, right?
And they like Molinelli.
Coach V, that's the easiest way. Is that what everybody knows you by? All right. No, James Ventriglia, I appreciate you coming tonight, and I appreciate Officer Fulton for recommending you for the Pride of Marlborough commendation. It's well-deserved. Not only are you a teacher, and God bless you for that, dealing with that every day, a social study teacher, but you're also a coach for the soccer team, and I know they did well this year, so congratulations to you and all the boys. So great job this year. And also, you started this tradition now of honoring the fallen soldiers and men and women of our services each year. And this is the extra things that I believe our town does that really sets us apart from a lot of little small towns. And it's people like yourself that actually do these things that, you know, unselfishly do them. You know, and that's the big thing. It's unselfishness. You just do it because it's the right thing to do. And as I say, every meeting, as you just heard, we do a moment of silence for those men and women to give us the right to do what we do, right? All of us. So I thank you for that. And without further ado, I'm going to bring up Officer Fulton, and he has a few things to say. He might have a little more than a few things, but... And Kurt, you want me to just start this, or how do you...
Yes, sir.
All right.
Welcome to the Town of Marlborough's Pride of Marlborough ceremony. Tonight we honor teacher and coach James Ventriglia. Jim, the name his colleagues give him at the school. Coach V, to his soccer team players, that's how he's known. His social studies students at the middle school call him Mr. V. And in the interest of good taste, I am not going to mention what some of his nicknames are. These monikers are best left unsaid. If you talk to some of these soccer players after the meeting, I'm sure they will give you some good stuff. I met Jim when I was assigned to the middle school as their school resource officer a few years ago. I've seen him at work on the second floor where he always seems to be busy doing something to enhance his work there. A supervisor would say that Mr. V is intrinsically motivated. That is, he doesn't need a boss in the background leaning over him, breathing down his neck, telling him what to do, when to do it, how to do it. He sees something that needs to be done or taken care of, and it's done and taken care of. 2 years ago, Jim approached me about putting together a ceremony to be presented at his first Saturday afternoon soccer game of the season, which that year happened to fall on September 11th, 2021. He told me he wants to honor all the first responders who ran towards the chaos in an attempt to serve others. Police, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, nurses, hospital staff, many of whom left Marlborough that day and headed to New York City to do what was necessary. Also, unfortunately, about a week before the soccer game at an airport in Kabul, Afghanistan, 13 servicemen and women died, helping with the evacuation of Americans and her allies during our withdrawal from that country. Jim and I thought it appropriate to honor them as well, with boots on the sideline. We talked to some people at West Point. Cadets donated their boots for this ceremony. We haven't given them back yet either. Soccer players placed roses on the boots as the names were read aloud. This past year, we also had a ceremony honoring first responders and the Kabul 13. We know that people place flowers at the World Trade Center Memorial, honoring birthdays and veterans with yellow and white roses. We added that aspect to this year's ceremony. We asked the soccer players to participate, and there was no hesitation on their part, and for that, we thank them. Will the soccer players that were there in 2021 please stand? I want to recognize you for helping us out with that ceremony. Thank you. Do any of you have anything you would like to say to your coach? Go ahead, come on up.
Mac, of course you would. You're the man, Mac.
I don't really have a big speech prepared, but I think when I come up here and I say, I think I speak for the whole team. We're all very proud of you, Coach, and all the hard work, the dedication, and the passion that you've put into the program the last few years, and it's resulted in success, obviously, not just on the field, but in games like the Salute to Service games, and it's no one else deserves the award more than you, Coach. That's it.
Anyone else? Okay, the rest of the soccer team, stand up. You guys participated in this year's ceremony. Would you like to say anything? I gave them a chance. Thanks, guys. You can be seated. It's an honor to nominate you, Jim, for this recognition. Your dedication to our troops, our first responders, your soccer players, your students, your colleagues does not go unnoticed. We have a little token of appreciation here. It's a pair of boots.
You got to open that up. That thing is,
What is it?
you got to open that up. That thing is, let everybody see it. This is all Kurt.
You have a plaque? You gotta read the plaque, okay.
It's pretty cool.
Jim. Go ahead.
put this in your office. This is the Pride of Marlborough commendation printed to James Ventriglia by the Town of Marlborough Town Board, whereas James Ventriglia has dedicated his time in planning a yearly ceremony to salute and honor veterans and first responders, and whereas James Ventriglia works very hard in ensuring that his ceremony is organized and is respectful to the community event. Now therefore be resolved that the Town of Marlborough thanks Mr. James Ventriglia for all his hard work and dedication in honoring all our heroes. And it's signed by all the board members and myself, and we want to thank you for everything you've done for our community.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I love it. Yeah. I wish he was still around. Yeah. He's doing well, though. Yes, he is. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's a perfect one to end with up there. Does anybody else want to say anything before I'll say, Coach, you want to say something? You know, we didn't even ask you to say something. I think you should say something. You're the man of the hour.
I did not prepare a speech, but I can't tell you how grateful I am for Kurt Fulton. You know, he recognized me for this award, but I mean, it wouldn't be nothing without his service and his efforts. You know, it's just a tremendous honor to work with him on a daily basis, and especially for the Salute to Service game. So, Kurt. Obviously, my boys that are here, okay, this is the second iteration of it this year. We're looking to make it an annual event. The timing just didn't work out last year with it, but this is something that we want to keep established and continue moving forward. So we will continue that effort and that honor, because you're right. I mean, in terms of Marlborough as a community and how unique and special it is in recognizing the things that go unnoticed in today's day and age a lot, Marlborough is a special place, and we want to maintain that tradition going forward. So, yeah, congrats, boys. Good job. And just, reflecting, like, as an educator, one of the reasons why I went into education, I was in the wake of 9/11. I knew my future was going to be in public service at some capacity. I had a history of education. My father was a teacher. My mother was in education. And so I found this to be my capacity to kind of, change the world in a way, And so, whether it's with soccer and the lessons on and off the field, in the classroom, the Youth and Government Club I established at the middle school and the high school. I mean, we're doing our best to try to, prep the future generations to really be prepared, really have an appreciation for the past, an appreciation for what we have and how special it is here in our nation, and to recognize that going forward. So thank you all for coming, and thank you all, board. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Thanks, James. Okay, so I will say, if everybody that doesn't want to stay for another 40 minutes, you are allowed, you're dismissed. So yeah, we'll take like a 5-minute break here and allow everybody to leave if they want to, and then we'll get back to our regular meeting. But Coach, congratulations, and again, thank you for what you do for our community. Thank you for honoring the fallen that have protected us, and thank you for putting these guys out there on the field and winning a championship, and molding their minds, because you're right, they're the future of our country, and we're going to need them. It's not an easy world out there right now, but America is still the best place to be, so congratulations. Instead of soccer on the side, we can put the emblem of the town. All right?
Did Manny say what the button?
He called me. He said he's stuck on 684, coming home after he dropped his son off at the airport, and his traffic. Yeah. He said if he can make it, he make it. If he can't, he can't.
I was in Gippsland, the bridge traffic.
I notice every day I go to work where I go now, it's like crazy all of a sudden. Over by me, they opened up the Amazon building finally. So now it's like I got, an extra 100 people every morning trying to get in there. It's a pain in the ass.
That's magnitude.
It was so cold
1,000
here the
degrees,
other
it's
day, I
beautiful.
thought I was going to die, and now it's working.
Yeah, it's
Looks just like Jay.
Yeah, a little
I
bit.
met Jay grew up right next door to me.
I just was with Mac today for lunch.
Yeah, he grew up right next door to me. He looks just like he was a kid.
Kurt, I signed you out, Kurt. I logged you off, so you're off the computer, buddy. Good job. Kurt, good job, Kurt. Once again, as usual. This is more like it. Got the door open? All right, this is more like it. Our number 3 or 4 people here. That's all good. No, that's beautiful to see all those kids come. So, it's really nice. Yeah, I think they want it open because they're hot up here. So.
The women are hot?
Hot flashes up on there. No, I think it's nice in here. I don't know.
Oh, here.
But anyway, So we're going to go back to supervisor's update. My updates basically will deal around Tomback for the most part. If anybody hasn't seen as they've gone by Tomback, you can see the exterior is coming along very well. I think we just have the south side of the building pretty much left to do on the exterior and the front doors. The front doors are delayed. They probably got 2 more weeks, I'm hoping, before they come in. You know, just as far as ordering stuff and getting it is always delayed. The plumber, I would say at this point, is 75% done inside now. He's got all the gas lines hooked up. He's moved all the water lines properly. So that's moving forward very nicely. The HVAC, as you see, I don't know if you could see from the front, but from the back, you can see he's got all the vents back up on the building properly. He's got all the lines hooked up inside. Most of the vents are on, except again for the south side. So that's moving along. And then the electrical side, same thing. He's probably 75% done, and he would be done if we had the walls enclosed at this point. So everything's starting to move forward. You know, we do have out to bid the interior right now for a bid opening, I believe, in 2 more weeks, November 3rd. So that'll be coming up for the interior, and then once we get the interior done, then we just got to get people in there. So we're getting there. I'm assuming we'll probably be done, my guesstimate, February-ish, maybe, if all the materials come in right. It all depends on material deliveries. But we're probably looking at maybe an opening in the spring or some kind. That way we could get all the kinks and stuff ironed out in the building. Because our highway department also does have blacktop the exterior. We have to put handicap parking in the front section. We're going to put a new flagpole up. We're going to do a little landscaping. So there's a lot of other things, little things that have to be done before we could open. But that's moving forward really nicely. If everybody hasn't been down to the river recently, we've been having our boats come in. We had the art show this past weekend. You know, they beautiful setup. I think they would have hoped to had a little more traffic go through there. I think what we have to do is talk to the cruise companies a little more to actually set up about a half-an-hour time for people to actually come in to the building. Because pretty much they were just getting off their buses and going right back to the ships, and they weren't really going into the train station that much. So that's something we have to logistically work out with them, but they have been down there. The bid is ready to go for the pier. So the North Pier should be starting in the next couple of weeks, the rebuild of it, the one that caught on fire. So that's going out, and then the Milton Landing project is also ready to go also. So a lot of things happening all at once. I think I said it at my last meeting. Everything all year, been waiting and waiting and waiting, and it finally came to a head in this past month. So a lot of good things going on. So that's my report as far as what we're doing. Just so everybody knows too, early voting starts Saturday, right? So if anybody is going to vote, it starts on Saturday, and it starts in this building, and there's different times, so you got to look at the times, right? And then, good one, trunk or treat is the 28th, this Saturday, right? Go ahead, you could talk about it. That's your game.
No, trunk or treat is this Saturday, 3:30 to 5:30 at the town park. It's going to be, I would say, substantially bigger than last year, and last year was pretty darn impressive, so it should be a great event. The police department has joined forces with the rec committee to really take that event over the top. We're expecting more cars, more trunks, more special features, and have our DJ coming back, Soundsational DJ, will be joining us. So once all families finish up the trick-or-treating in the hamlet of Marlborough with the Meet Me in Marlborough committee, they can head on over to the park and join us there.
Yeah, you had like 41 trunks this year, right?
Yeah, all full, right?
More than anticipated.
Yes, lots of trunks, lots of trunks.
So there'll be a lot of candy flowing on Saturday. And the weather right now shows like 75 degrees. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. It'd be the first Saturday in 6 weeks that it hasn't rained. So we might get lucky. Yeah, so it should be an awesome event. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys for putting that all together. I know there's a lot of work that goes into it, and thanks to the committee, so great job there. All right, so we did our presentation. Do I have any comments on the agenda from anybody? No? Do we have any new business by any of the board members? Anybody want to talk about anything new that they want to do, or I don't think I have anything. The only thing I could tell you, we're looking at, from the board perspective, you put in your date, I think it was December 13th, might be our Christmas party this year.
Oh, yeah?
If all works out. Did you get that, Jerry? No, not December, yeah, wait. Yeah, December 13th. And it would be down at Locust Grove again. So
And what is,
We'll
what
go-
night is that? What day of the week?
5 o'clock it starts normally.
It's a Wednesday.
Is it
Yep.
Wednesday?
Yep. Yeah, because now they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Right.
So that's the only note I would give the board for now. Any open board discussion on anything? So we got a bunch of resolutions tonight. So everybody knows we got our final budget that we're going to pass. A lot of hard work on this budget. Myself and Chris, she's a godsend, but because I go in there and I change my mind like every other day. So, and then she changes the numbers up, but we came up with a budget that we're under the cap, and everybody's now going to get a 4% raise instead of a 3% raise. So we upped the percentage for them, and we're under the cap by $688. So we we pushed it, but we're there. And we're, like I said last meeting, there's a lot of good things in this budget for improvements within the town. So trying to do those improvements within the town and keeping ourselves under the 2% cap is challenging, but you're able to do it if you could work the numbers right. So we'll go through that a little more in a little while. But I'm going to go then to correspondence. All right. Oh, God, Jerry, come on. From Jerry Kokoza, or to Jerry Kokoza, Chief of Police of Marlborough, resignation letter. Chief Kokoza, is with my heavy heart and after careful consideration that I submit my resignation from my position as full-time officer at the Town of Marlborough Police Department effective November 1st, 2023. I have chosen to take this step due to several factors that have made it increasingly difficult for me to continue my career within the department. I want to express my gratitude for the experience and opportunities I've had during my tenure at the Town of Marlborough Police Department. I have learned valuable lessons and developed strong bonds with fellow officers and staff members. I will always cherish those connections. However, I believe it is time for me to explore new avenues where I can thrive both professionally and personally. I am committed to ensuring a smooth transition during my departure. Please let me know how I can assist in transferring my duties and responsibilities or in any other way that will help facilitate the transition process. Respectfully, Travis Merrick. So Travis, like I say with everybody, we appreciate the time you gave to the Town of Marlborough and what you've done for the Town of Marlborough. And again, we can never begrudge anybody that wants to move on and do better things for themselves. So we congratulate you on that, and thank you very much. So Jerry, here we go again, another search. The search is on. This one is, so this is for, I just want to let everybody know that Legislator Corcoran has been pushing for a reimbursement for bus sheltering down here. So I don't know if anybody listened to the executive's budget meeting, but she is pushing transportation, and part of that is actually down at the southern tier. And Tom has been pushing to say, hey, we're down here, we're down here. He's been pushing and pushing. So we're going to be getting bus shelter built. And I just want to point out that through Tom's efforts, we're getting $20,000 reimbursed, up to $20,000 reimbursed for the shelters, 2 bus shelters that we're going to build down here. One's going to be here, and one, I believe, is going to be down towards St. Mary's, I believe, if I remember. So, good job by Legislator Corcoran, and $20,000 back to our community, so that's good, and for a good purpose. This one I just want to read fairly quickly. This is for the winning bid recommendation by John Beham for the winning low bid, Nikki Diggs. And we have reviewed the bids submitted and recommended the town board award the bid to the low bidder, Landscape V-Scape Inc., ADA Nikki Diggs Excavation, who we find to be qualified bidder for the total bid award of $595,417.00. The bid received is in conformance with the opinion and probable cause of our company, prepared in collaboration with Prittengu and Douche Engineering. The town clerk's office advertised a request to bid for accordance with the town policy, including posting to the New York State Contractor Report. The clerk's office also conducted outreach to potential bidders, certified and minority women-owned companies, and required by the state grant. A total of 6 bids were received from experiencing contractors. We therefore find both the bidding process and the low bid received is competitive. And based on the review, Beham Planning and Design recommended the town board authorize the town supervisor execute a contract with Landscape Inc., ADA Nikki Diggs Excavation for the above referred project. We have prepared the draft resolution for use at the board meeting, and that'll be one of our resolutions tonight. Just so the public, and I know the board knows, we do have a grant from the LWRP grant for this work that will cover about 90% of this work, and the remaining part will be out of our parks and reserve. So we did have a lot of bidders, which was good. So some were very high, some were in the middle, and Mr. Diggs was in the at the end. We were like, and I apologize to the board that you saw some of the stuff going back and forth at the last minute this week. It's because we were just verifying the women and minority-owned businesses, that they had enough references for that to qualify for the grant. Because with this grant, there's a 25% threshold that has to be used for their work, or at least that's the goal. You have to at least show that you push that. And I think we had hit 30% when we calculated it, so it's pretty good. So we'll get to that. All right, that's all I got in correspondence. So any public comments? Anybody got any public comments?
You did that already.
Yes. Mary Beth, you can come on up.
It's not a comment. Before you get to the resolution on the child abuse program, it wasn't clear what that was, and if it was,
It's required by our insurance company, and they've been coming down on us for the last year to get the molestation policy put in place. And it's mainly for, it's not so much like the everyday employees, although they can come in contact with children, maybe the police more so than us, but it's more for our camp and the camp employees, so because they deal with children on a daily basis. So part of the insurance requirement is to have this molestation policy in place.
Okay,
So
because it wasn't clear when you read the resolution.
And
Like
I want to thank Tina Rosa,
employees or...
because Tina Rosa worked hard on this to get this complete.
Okay.
She worked directly with our attorney. So,
All right. Nope, I just was curious.
Yep.
Okay, that's all.
All right. Well, then I'm going to get to resolutions. So 103, to adopt the final budget. And so this is the final budget numbers. You can see we're at 2.18%. So you'll say, oh, we're not under a 2% cap. Well, 2.18% is inclusive of everything within the town. When you do the tax cap, it excludes a bunch of items that don't go into the tax cap. So that's why if you look at the tax cap, these are all the exclusions. And then that takes us $688 under the cap. So this is what gets filed with the state, so they know. And believe it or not, next year, if you really wanted to, you could use $688 towards the reduction of your next year's budget. So, but I don't know if we take advantage of that. What I do have to read prior to adopting or actually asking the board to adopt the final budget is we have to read aloud what was changed from the preliminary to the final. So this is what was changed. The Justice Department was an additional $700, Justice Department. Justice was $780. Supervisor was $47.68. This is departments. Assessors, $1,100. Town clerk was minus $9,045. Central services was minus $6,000. Police was increased $13,580. Dog control officer was reduced $3,000. Highway superintendent was increased $1,680. Again, not the person, but the department. Programs of aging increased $2,000. That's the seniors. That's for their busing. Parks was reduced $10,000. We still have a hefty amount in there for parks, but we did have to reduce it $10,000. Building inspector reduced $841. Planning, $344 plus. Recycle transfer station, minus $12,500. Most of that is because we got rid of all the tires this year, so that line item comes out for the cost of that. Milton Landing Pier Ban, this was a huge one that really killed us, or we would have been well under the cap. As everybody knows, if anybody's got a loan lately, interest rates, our interest rate on the ban for the pier went up to 7%, which increased our interest by $25,910 this year. That's just an increase in interest that we're paying. So there's not much we can do about that, but that's what went up. That's when I called Jerry and said, you got to cut this and you got to cut that. And I called John, you got to cut this. So, that's just what happens. Highway general repairs, minus $5,000. Highway general repairs, minus $3,000. Water, plus $1,688. Water revenue is plus $1,688. They washed themselves out. Camp program revenue, plus $3,000. And state revenue sharing, plus $2,000. So those were the changes in the budget to get us to the cap of 6.8 under, $688 under. That's a 2.10% change in the rate and a 1.93% townwide assessed value increase. And the big number everybody wants to know is, what does that mean to me? So I would say the average house in Marlborough realistically is $300,000. It could be $250,000, but I'll just say $300,000. So that increases your taxes $55.86. If it's a $400,000 house, it's $74.48. So it's an increase, but a minimal increase considering what we're going to be getting from this budget. So that's where we're at. All right. That's. You guys have any other questions on that?
Done this a few times.
All right, so then we're going to get back to our Resolution 103 to adopt the 2024 final budget. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Marlborough duly held a public hearing on the 2024 budget on October 10th, 2023, and whereas said hearing was duly advertised and held in appointed time and place, and all persons interested in the subject thereafter were given the opportunity to be heard. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Marlborough desires to adopt the 2024 final budget, now therefore it be resolved that the 2024 final budget is hereby adopted and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Molinelli?
Yes, and thank you, and Chris, for your hard work, Scott.
Councilwoman Zephyr?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes, and same thing. I thank you to Chris for all their hard work on this, and all the department heads, because I did go back to them quite a few times to change their minds, I would say, on certain things. So, thank you. Resolution 104 to adopt a child and youth abuse prevention program. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas the town of Marlborough insurance provider required the town of Marlborough to adopt a child and youth abuse prevention program, and whereas it is important that all staff and volunteers implement these guidelines to help prevent abuse against children. Be it resolved that the child and youth prevention program be adopted by the town of Marlborough, and be it further resolved that the town of Marlborough wishes to amend the employee handbook to include the child and youth abuse prevention program. So just so everybody knows on the board, doesn't go into the code, it goes into our employee handbook, all right? And it moves for its adoption.
Councilman Molinelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sessa?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes, thank you, Tina. Resolution 105 to award the Milton Landing Waterfront Revitalization Project. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas the town and many partners have been working on this project for the past 10+ years, including many improvements by the town highway department and support from volunteers from across the community. And whereas the town has funding from the grant from the New York State Department of State in support of this project. And whereas the town has prepared bid documents including plans, specifications, and construction documents for site and landscape improvements developed with the assistance of Behan Planning and Design with Pittigue and Douche Engineering. And whereas the town of Marlborough offices of the town clerk at the direction of the town board advertised for the bids for this project, and whereas the town with the consultant Behan Planning and Design and Pittigue and Douche along with Gail Appler Jr. conducted a pre-bid conference at the project site, which was attended by representatives from construction companies. And whereas at the date and time established for the close of receipt of bids, the office of the town clerk received a total of 6 bids, whereas the following bids were received: Landscape Inc., DBA Nikki Diggs, you could see the numbers, Cerrone Construction Inc., Argenio Brothers, Sun Up Construction, Arnold Construction Co. Inc., Green Meadows Enterprise Inc. Whereas Behan Planning and Design has reviewed the bids compiled by the town clerk's office, including the bid of the low bidder, Landscape Inc., DBA Nikki Diggs Excavation, and found that the bid to be in conformance with Behan Planning and Design opinion and probable cost, and therefore the bid was determined to be competitive, and the low bidder was determined to be a responsible bidder in terms of experience and qualifications, and met the requirements set forth in the bid documents, including input from New York State Department of State. And whereas the bid of $595,417 is within the project total budget. And whereas this project is being funded in large part by a grant from the New York State Department of State, will be used to reduce the cost of the project by the town. Now therefore be resolved that the town of Marlborough Town Board accept the bid and award the Milton Landing Waterfront Revitalization Project NYSDOS number 1002023 to Landscape Inc., DBA Nikki Diggs Excavation, 113 Old Route 6, Carmel, New York, 10512, in the amount of $595,417.00. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the construction contract on behalf of the town and any other required documents, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Molinelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sessa?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes. 10 years, Gail. Never stop trying, right? It's going to look nice when it's done. All right, so here's the next one. So this is our next project. October 23rd, 2023, resolution number 106 to authorize the supervisor to sign agreement with GPI, that's our engineering consultants that we approved at our reorg meeting. Town Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas the town of Marlborough is looking to renovate and expand the highway department on 1650 Route 9W, and whereas Greenman Pedersen Inc. is an approved engineering firm from the town of Marlborough, and whereas Greenman Pedersen and has agreed to provide engineering, design, and construction administrative service for the renovation and expansion of 1650 Route 9W. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Marlborough hereby authorize the town supervisor to sign the agreement with Greenman Peterson for the 1650 building renovation project. And just so everybody knows, there is $171,000 in the budget this year for a $1.5 million bond to go out to do this project. Again, that is subject to permissive referendum when it comes up. It's also needs to be approved by the board. But until then, we have to go forward with getting the plans and oversight and getting it out to bid. So I can't tell you if we're going to be able to do that unless we get it out to bid. And again, the prices are broken down, so say we get it out to bid and we don't get the construction, obviously they don't get all this money. This is only, they only get the money up to the bid package. But so if it goes to, for more than the amount of money that the board has authorized to spend, then we can't move forward with the project. That's just the way it works. But you have to do this pre-planning. So this is what it is, and it's and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Molinelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sessa?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes, thank you. Let's hopefully the bidders are as thankful. And Eddie, since you're back tonight,
Well, who adjourned the meeting?
looking good, Manny. And so, see, he decided not to come tonight because you were coming.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll give you item number 14, Eddie.
I would like to come back with an adjournment today.
All right, I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Happy Halloween.